Tell me this, have you ever walked out of a job interview thinking, wait, why did they ask me that? Or worse, you practiced for hours and then froze when they said, so tell me about yourself. Well, today I'm breaking down 10 most common interview questions and showing you exactly how you can answer them with confidence. So you never walk out of that job interview feeling like you actually missed out on your shot once again in 2026. Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tshidi and I'm back with another video. If you've been sending out applications and finally landed that big job interview that you've been looking for, first of all, congratulations. But now it's time for you to actually prepare smartly. Today, I'll walk you through 10 questions that recruiters love to ask and how you can respond in a way that sets you apart from any other candidate in that particular job interview. I promise you 1 or 2 or 3 of these interviews will come into your next job. So please be ready for this one. The first one that every job interview starts with is, tell me about yourself. This is the moment for you to actually set the tone. Don't start with your life story. Keep it professional and very concise. The formula here is very simple. It's present, past, and future. And here's an example of how you can actually try and articulate that. I'm currently a marketing coordinator with 2 years experience managing social media campaigns for company X. Before that, I earned my degree in communications and then I interned at a PR firm. Now I'm actually excited to bring some of my skills into the company where I can grow and do a bit more strategically focused work, especially with integrating some of the AI tools that I know are out there. The nice thing about that is that it's short, it's confident, it's relevant. And if you spent more than 5 minutes introducing yourself, especially on this question, just know that you have actually failed. Because guess what? In a 30 to 45 minutes job interview and you spent more than 10 minutes introducing yourself, you've already lost out on the bulk of the time for you to then shine. This was for you to just give them that appetizer, for them to know, okay, you've got something interesting. Number 2, what are your strengths? Avoid cliches like I'm a perfectionist. Instead, share very specific strengths, with a bit of proof. One of my biggest strengths is my ability to actually stay organized under pressure. In my previous roles, I managed 3 projects at once and still delivered all reports ahead of schedule. And this then became my superpower because in most cases, whenever there was that kind of pressure, my line manager in the business used to normally give me some of those roles. And I thrive on those because it allows me to showcase some of the talents within that particular time. Simple, straight to the point. Number 3, what are your weaknesses? This one trips a lot of people up because the trick is you have to be honest with self-awareness and show a bit of improvement in your journey. And this is how you can answer it. I used to struggle with delegating tasks because I felt responsible for every detail. But over time, I learned that effective teamwork means trusting others' strengths. And now I actually focus a lot more on clear communication instead of making sure that I'm always looking over somebody else's shoulders. And this has also allowed us to be able to deliver a lot more projects all in a shorter time because then I can dedicate my time on other things. That shows growth, not weakness. Number 4, why do you want to work here? Recruiters and managers can spot a generic answer from a mile away. Show that you've actually done your homework. And this is how you can actually do it. I admire how your company integrates sustainability into its operations. I'd love to contribute to a brand that's not just only growing, but is also doing good in the process throughout the journey. In my previous work, I started a group of people that actually focused a bit about sustainability, and we're able to actually present that to the leadership, and that was given to another team to drive with. But here I'm excited that I'll be a lot more closer to what you guys are doing because sustainability is one of the biggest strengths and passions of mine. Here's the beauty about it. It shows your passion, it shows your research, tick, 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 everything is done in that particular one. Number 5, why should we hire you? Think of this as an elevator pitch, that you have to actually match your skills to the needs of the company. For example, with my experience in client management and data strategy, I can help your team boost engagement, deliver measurable growth from day one because I was able to do that within my previous company. The nice thing about this one is that it shows a bit of confidence in this particular one. It also shows a bit of grounded experience from the past that you've actually done because you speak about how you integrated that in your previous role and you'd like to come and do that in this particular company. Number 6 is tell me about your time when you actually faced the challenge or when you failed. This is where the STAR methodology actually shines. And the STAR methodology basically is where we say, what is the situation? What is the task? What actions did you take? And what are the results? And this is how you answer with the STAR methodology. When our team lost 2 members during a major campaign, I reorganized some of our responsibilities. I prioritized the deadlines that I knew we needed to make sure we sorted out. And we still were able to actually get the project completed successfully with an increase in sales by 15%. Keep it short, keep it very structured and result driven. Obviously, you can expand a bit more on some of the stuff that you actually did in this one, but make sure that you always remember what was the situation, what was the task, what actions, and what was the results. Even if the results were things that you guys failed at, those are still results at the end of the day. One of the worst questions of our century: where do you see yourself in 5 years? Recruiters want to know if you actually have a plan to grow in the company. And truth is, for me, this question is very outdated and we should actually not be asking it anymore. But people still do ask it. And here's how you actually answer this question. Well, in 5 years, I see myself taking more leadership responsibilities and helping to develop strategic initiatives within this company. It's also very tricky with this question because if you looked at how the job market has changed in the last 2 years alone, a 5-year plan does not work anymore. But as much as somebody might still ask you this question, that's basically how you actually ask them. You're showing them that you've got ambition without threatening your manager's job. And it also brings in a bit of a perfect balance to that conversation. Number 8, how do you handle pressure or tight deadlines? Show that you're actually composed and solution oriented. The way you can actually answer this is, I usually prioritize tasks and communicate early if there are challenges, especially with my line manager and my stakeholders. And then I try to also stay very focused on the outcomes rather than the stress. And I actually find that I perform best when there's a bit of a healthy pressure because it gives me the ability to be able to keep on finding new solutions as we go along the journey. This is also one of the nicest ways of making sure that people know that you can deal with any type of pressure that's thrown at you. Why did you leave your last job? One of the things I speak to a lot of people about is please never badmouth your previous employer. Keep it very positive, keep it simple, and you can answer it this way. I learned a lot from my last role, but I felt like it was actually time to take on a new challenge after 7 years of doing that particular job. And the opportunities to actually grow and align with where I'm actually trying to go long term. When I looked at this job spec, it actually spoke a bit more about what I was looking for. Because some of the things that the job spec spoke about was, the ability to integrate AI into some of the work that we're doing, making sure that we do X, we do this, we do that. The nice thing about that, it's polite, it's professional, it's neutral, and it also talks about the job spec itself that you actually have applied to. And then number 10, do you have any questions for us? This is not a time for you to say, no, I think that's all. Always ask something meaningful in any job interview, guys. Because you've been there, people have been throwing questions at you. There's a chance for you to actually ask your own question to understand if this is the right company for you. Here's one of the examples of the questions that you can ask. How do you measure success in this role? Or what's the company culture like on a day-to-day basis? What are some of the things that the team is struggling with this at the moment? What are you trying to solve for the future when it comes to this? This shows a bit of curiosity and genuine interest to whoever's sitting across on this particular stage. Now, to summarize this, guys, the key to answering interview questions is preparation. Make sure that you're structured and make sure that you show a bit of authenticity. There are 3 golden rules that you should always remember in any way. Tailor your answers to the role, back up claims with examples, and always end up with a confident note. I challenge you to actually practice these 10 questions before your next role. Look at what you're currently doing and tailor them to actually speak to what you've actually been doing in your career. And trust me, you'll work a lot more prepared in that job interview than you ever thought you were. Now, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, don't forget to share and subscribe to my content so that I can keep on creating more videos that are like this to help you boost your career with confidence and skill. Until we meet again, peace.